where you find that a person look at the same.
Not necessarily tribal or regional.
But I have said that.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Daybreak this morning. It's now time for the newspaper review, and we will start by taking headlines from the front page of Daily Trust newspaper. Now we have the lead story here that says how NIS operatives extort travelers at airports is an investigative piece, and we have writers that says I paid $100 to get my Virgin passport cleared, says passenger. 8 officers sacked, 88 facing disciplinary measures, and FAN decries extortion. You can get to find out details of that story on page 4. And below that story is a pictorials of Raila Odinga, the leader of the Kenyan opposition coalition Azimio la Umoja, addressing supporters during the country's wide mass rally in Kibera, Kenya, claiming the last Kenyan presidential election was stolen from him. All right, at the top of the page there, we have oil production rises to 1.7 million barrels per day, says federal government. Anambra indigents denying us accommodation, MACBAN raises alarm. And on page 13, we have Kogi Bayelsa Imo governorship polls. APC rakes in over 1.3 billion naira from forms. And below the page there, Oladipo Dia, the general who escaped execution, finally bows out. We also have police ban protest in Nasarawa, arrest 79 in Sokoto. 5 most attractive property destinations in Kano. Aftermath of polls, plot to sack IU thickens. And these are some of the stories on Daily Trust newspaper.
Next, we'll take a look at the leadership newspaper this morning, and the major story on the front page is as INEC foot drags, Fintiri Binani trade tackles over alleged rigging intimidation in Adamawa polls. And 10th NAS suspends as APC NWC plans NEC for mid-April. And moving towards the top of the front page there, again, Gombe ranks best in ease of doing business, and is on page 17. And drama as Benue Ward suspends IU as PDP national chairman. And we have also on the front page of the leadership, Iwanyao never called Yoruba rascals. That is according to the Ohanese. IMF warns of increased risk to global financial stability. You can find details of that on page 23. And of PMB, Tinubu, Olarewaju, others mourn Dia. That is on page 7. Now, these are the major stories on the front page of the leadership newspaper this morning.
All right, let's check out Punch newspaper. INEC votes 3 billion naira to fight electoral cases. And we have writers that says APC, PDP, LP defer on commission's litigation budget. Litigation costly, budget may not be enough, say senior lawyers. We also have Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan. Others mourn as Dia dies at 78, and you see a pictorial there of them paying condolence. Now, PDP vows probe as Benue Ward suspends IU. UK to sanction 10 Nigerians. Envoy chides Fani Kayode. We also have political rascals. Afenifere knocks Iwanyao demands Ohanese's clarification. And airfare soar as foreign airlines hike exchange rate. LASMA arrests fake official making 35,000 naira daily. And we also have on Ramadan, ex-governor donates 240 trucks of foodstuff. Group to feed 2,000 daily. And these are some of the stories on the Punch newspaper.
We'll take a look at the Guardian newspaper next, and the major story on the front page reads NLC reconsiders strike as CBN opens vault to banks. NEC meets tomorrow to review plans, strategies. We may call off strike if Nigerians have access to their monies, says Ajaero. Strike will drag economy into deeper hole, says NECA. And cash scarcity eases as queues disappear gradually from Lagos, Abuja ATMs. Restrict over-the-counter withdrawal to 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira. Still on the front page of the Guardian, Dia, the life and times of the army general who cheated death. And towards the top of the front page there, greedy cabal delaying refineries takeoff. That is on page 4. UNN confers doctorate on Zenith Bank CEO Onyagu. That is on page 3. And CBN's new lending rate to raise construction material costs. And that is on page 10. Finally, on the front page of The Guardian, Edo gets tentative approval for airport in Auchi. Details can be found on page 8. Now, these are the stories on the front page of The Guardian newspaper.
All right, next is Blueprint newspaper. We have the lead story as governor-elect gets certificates of return. Disquiet persists in Adamawa Kebbi over rerun polls. Writers here says, don't plunge Adamawa into chaos. Group wants Talon others. APC claims victory in Kebbi. 6 INEC officials sack. Bickering in Delta over March 18 polls result. Nothing should truncate Tinubu's inauguration, says Southwest Group. We also have Senate presidency. Group raises the alarm over planned vote buy-in. Competence will determine 10th NAS leadership, says PDP members-elect. In Ondo, EFCC operatives arrest over 80 POS operators. 2023 national census to hold May 3rd. We also have Sak Bawa, Protect Your Integrity, Anti-Graft Conference tasks Buhari. Details on page 5. Banks comply with CBN directive, ration cash to customers. Stakeholders blame PDP loss on IU. Ward suspends party chair. And these are some of the stories on the Blueprint newspaper.
All right, the next paper we're looking at is the Nation newspaper, and the major story on the front page is post-poll crisis. Are you under pressure to quit as PDP chair? And it comes with writers here that says Ward Exco suspends party boss and why he must go now. That is according to his deputy. Towards the bottom of the front page there, how unbundling of railways power boosts economy by experts, and says devolution will encourage competition enhanced through federalism. Details of that story can be found on page 2 and 3. At the very bottom of the front page, 3.4 billion naira debt. Court blocks Oyo government's accounts in 4 banks. And moving towards the top of the front page there, foreign reserves dip by $1.43 billion in 10 weeks. And MPC fixes May 3rd for population census. NAFDAC alert on recalled eye drop. And at the very top of the front page there, APC clears Uzodimma Silva Leon at Deyemi for primaries. And why I dropped my ambition, according to Faleke. Details of that on page 5. And there's also a tribute to the late Oladipo Dia on the front page of The Nation. Now those are the major stories on the front page of The Nation newspaper.
All right, the national economy here has the lead story that's on post-2023 elections. PwC, others set economic revival agenda for states, and you can actually see an infographic of the revival agenda for some of these states in the country. We also have concerns mount over foreign airlines trapped funds on page 5. Money guide, plan your money, plan your future. And these are some of the stories on the national economy.
All right, so right now we are going to go into the review proper, and we have with us in the studio Larry Oluwani, and he joins us right here to review some of these headlines that we've just reeled out. Good morning and welcome to Daybreak.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right, so let's begin with the lead story on Daily Trust before we move on to other stories. It's an investigative piece on how NIS operatives extort travelers at airports. I'm sure even before now you've heard stories, you've heard eyewitness reports, you've heard people actually complain about this. Can you share your thoughts on what is going on at the airports?
Thank you for having me. It's something that has been going on for a long time. It's not even about I'm also once a victim. So it's not about high report or whether stories or whatever. I'm a traveler, especially Lagos Airport, MMM. So, but we thank God that they are unraveling the bad eggs among them. But I believe they still need to do more. Yeah, because it does not, how will I put it, does not represent us well. Because it's not only Nigerian citizens are facing this, even foreigners also do face it. There is a report sometime that someone said that he did not maybe on fasten card, yellow card. That when you get to Nigeria, you can easily get it without stress. But if you don't have such card in Ghana, they will not allow you to enter. And it's true. If you are moving from one African country to another, if you don't have a yellow card, even they will even allow you to board. If you're able to board from one point, if you have a transit in another country, they won't allow you to move further. So I have a friend, I have a passenger with me. We are co-passengers together in the flight, and they will stop at Rwanda to return back. But quite unfortunate, if it's our country that the person is coming or is coming to our airport, there is no cause for alarm. They can only tell him just because of amount of money will get to the yellow card there immediately. Which the laws that guided the yellow card said that it's going to be after 30 days of your vaccination before you are eligible to travel. So you can see all those things kind of a lot, which I don't want to mention on here. I'm just giving a case study of what is happening at the airport, and a lot. So at times you just lost your luggage. How come you lost your luggage? How come you lost some items inside your luggage all the way from abroad? You get to Nigeria airport, something is missing. All manner of irregularity, all manner of things that is unheard of, that is we are not supposed to be saying here. That is not even good for our society. So you find out that they want to do screening on your luggage. They spoil your bag for you, expensive bag. That when you have a technology to screen every luggages, and if there is anything suspicious in any luggage whatsoever, you call the owner. Say, can you please come and open this bag? Let's check. But no, the first is the case here. They just bring their knife, bring their things, took your bag, spoil your bag. On top of what they are looking, they feel that there is all manner of things. I don't want to even, as I say, I'm a first-hand witness. So if I keep talking here, I'll keep saying many things concerning them, which we have been crying for. So we are happy that the baggers among them have been discovered, and they are getting to know them, and I believe they will still work more so that we can have a good society, because it's not a good thing if you are coming from abroad, what you don't experience there, the way you are treated there. You come to your country, you are being treated like a slave. When you arrive in your country, you should be treated like a king, and you are welcome. But all manner of irregularity, all manner of things that unheard of, that they ask you something that is not even relevant to your traveling. So where is this? Where is that? It's not relevant. They knew it's not relevant. But just looking for a way to get something from you. Delay people's flight. 2 days, they don't care whether you miss your flight. They don't care whether you are coming from far place. Maybe you are coming from, some people come from eastern part of our country, from Enugu, from Onitsha, to come and board in Lagos. They have already spent like 3 days in hotel. You still get to the airport giving them unnecessary hiccups just to get something from them. So I think I don't want to go more further, because the more I speak on this, because I'm a first witness of it, I have experience about it, and I'm still talking about it. So the more I talk on this, I'll keep open their wound, which I challenge them to go and do underground investigation if I'm lying. So I've been on this journey more than 10 years. I'm a traveler, so I know what I'm talking about. So
it seems you're quite passionate about this. Well, let's move slightly away from that. Let's talk about the economy for a while. I'm still sticking with the front page of the Daily Trust. We're getting a story here that oil production now has risen to 1.7 million barrels per day, according to the federal government. Is this something for us to shout about?
It's not something to me, it's not something to be happy about. I keep saying it. It's not something to be shouted. Whether we have a lot of oil boom in this country before, during the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan. It's not about how many barrels we are exporting. You export the crude oil, and you are still spending money to refine it outside the soil of your country. before I can appeal on this, before I can say we have a boom, is until we're able to get about 4 or 5 refineries working in this country simultaneously. So when we have more of these, is a natural resources, is a God-given resources. Not like we are doing anything extra somewhere to make it increase on a daily basis. So to me, I see it as God favor. God just favor us again to get more and more and more and more. But how do we use the resources to benefit the people that they own the resources? That I mean, that we are Nigerian citizens, are we benefiting from? Go and check other countries that they have resources like this. Go and check United Arab Emirates. Yes, how they judiciously spending the money to benefit the life of their people, because it's a God-given resources. So if you like have 1 million tons, 1 million barrels per day, I'm not moved, I'm not shaken. But what do you do with the money? Are we refining here until you get our refinery working, and all the citizens have seen the reflection of what God has given to us in our lives, in our infrastructure? We are good to go.
All right, so still talking about the economy, let's talk about the cash crunch, the CBN's directive that banks should operate Saturdays, Sundays, the stalled planned NLC strike, and we have people actually saying that the cash issue is actually better now because they've been able to get an amount, a certain amount, while some are still complaining that some banks are not heeding to the CBN's directive. What do you think briefly about all of this?
Yeah, I saw some banks during the weekend, they open and they are giving cash, especially in Abuja metropolis. So I cannot say of outside Abuja, maybe in the interior part of the country. But so far so good. I think there is a little bit calm and people are beginning to get the naira. I think we have said it time with that number here that the policy, we are not right for the policy, and the policy is dead on arrival. I've said that. So this is to indicate us that what we are saying is right, because the Supreme Court have confirmed it, and CBN governor have returned back to our old stand that let the both currency run concurrently, so that people can have their life and have their business back. So we appeal to the CBN governor to set up a implementary committee to ensure that all these banks are doing what they ask them to do. To give another in this country is not enough until you set up an implementary committee that will go around to check are they complying with the orders. So I believe so far so good. They have disbursed a lot of money and they are giving money to the ATM, increase the daily limit and other stuff. So let's hope before this week runs out, I think our life will also get more better.
Normal.
All right, now let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk politics. A story that seems to be making the rounds is the current crisis right now in the PDP, whereby the national chairman is under fire. It was lots of rancor being created before the elections actually came into being, with some governors saying that they wanted him to leave and all that. But now he's been suspended by his ward, and we've seen lots of papers carry that as well. But the nation takes it quite seriously and says, are you under pressure to quit as PDP chair? And Ward Exco suspends party boss. What do you make of all this?
It's a normal thing in PDP. Anytime they lost the election, especially a presidential election, go and check the history. Their party chairman were always asked to step down. You can remember Adamu Mwazu, when they lost during Jonathan, you have to quit, I think, less than 48 hours and left the soil of the country. So, and I believe with the level that they have with themselves, with the G5 governors, that have put IU in a tight corner already, and then they lose, and they lost a lot of National Assembly, I must confess, because I was shocked that PDP has radically reduced as far as National Assembly is concerned, about 20 something, and 26 or 28 now, which is not so before. So it's a call. I mean, you should just respect himself, like I always say. Yes, you don't need to drag some things when you see the obvious. and you see a superior argument, what you just need to do is to keep your name intact and resign honorably, because they have been calling for your resign for more than 6 months. So, and the people that are calling for your back, they have not relent. And if you believe you want to fight further, the more you fight, the more the party getting into more trouble. You know, the whole election is over, governorship is over, whatever is over. So let another person lead them into another election. They have Kogi election at the corner. They still have other, I think, Kogi and where again? Imo and not Anambra this time around, I think, which other country again? Other state again. Bayelsa. So allow a new person to lead them into that contest to see if they can get a result from those contests, because the way they perceive him now, they are not going to believe in leadership again. Even those that believe in his leadership before the election, now they have failed. You can see that they will shift calm to the G5 people that no, the G5 have been telling us that this man should go.
So do you think their performance in the last general election is a direct consequence of all the controversies?
That's the direct cause. That's how it's always been. When you lose, it's the same thing if it happened to APC. If it's APC should have failed, that lost in the election, you will see they will call the head of the chairman to go, because they believe you are not able to take us to the victory land that they want. So because you are, the reason why you are elected is to champion in this election and take them to the promised land. And you know, in Nigeria, if you don't take them to, they are just like a club, and not this football thing. If they recruit you to take them to World Cup, you fail from that place, just sign the sign and fire away.
All right, so let's take a look at, before we go to City and Crime on Daily Trust, there's this editorial that actually caught my attention, because a lot of people are actually dreading what might happen when the next administration takes over. And it talks about allowing the next administration to decide on subsidy removal. Some people are actually scared of what their lives might turn out to be, especially average Nigerians, and how difficult it will be to just pass the day in Nigeria once the fuel subsidy is removed, because a lot of things, a lot of commodities go to the market, it's going to be high and everything. So what's your take on the fuel subsidy?
Yes, I've said it time with that number. We have to go through this route, whether we like it or not. The president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have said it time without number in his own manifesto, and in one of the engagements I have with the economy leaders of this country, the business guru, that is going to remove subsidy. So now, let's have it at the back of our mind that this new administration is going to remove subsidy, and there is going to be inflation in the country. But what matters most is that before they remove subsidy, which I always said, before they remove subsidy, can they please do a lot of balances to cushion the effect, not just remove the subsidy all of a sudden, and without saying that some Dangote refinery have not started working, without saying that some other refinery we have, or these the one that Bua is doing in Akwa Ibom have not got to some performance, some level of development. Maybe in the next 1 year, maybe his own will be completed. We should look at all those things. That's number one. And number two, where are we taking the subsidy to? What part of the sector are you going to take the money to? Because the money being paid for subsidy, but definitely taken back to a sector. Are you going to take it to the power sector? Which I always say, if you know you are removing subsidy, are you assuring us that within next 6 months that you remove the subsidy, our power sector will be working effectively, to the extent that if you are a hairdresser, if you are a frozen seller, if you are a whatever, majority of our business associated with electricity, even the media houses. Now, are we going to have constant electricity? Like if it's 10-15 hours a day. So if you know that you are going to have 15 hours per day, that means the diesel you are buying, the petrol you are buying is already reducing. So when you know that you are not buying diesel like the way you buy it, and there is a constant electricity, you won't cry. So, but if there is still the problem of electricity, we could not generate electricity, you still ask me to go and buy a liter of petrol at the rate of 400 naira, which we all know that is going to affect all part of the sector. Even to buy tomato at that moment is going to be increased. To buy anything at that moment is going to be increased. So we all know that. So please, my whole stand is that the economy of the new administration should do the analysis very well. Let me put it that way, before they go through that route, so that they will not plunge us into unredeemable crisis again. Because immediately that thing happen, you know us. Anything that goes up in Nigeria
never come down.
never come down.
All right, well, let's take a look at City and Crime. We have some stories here. Kidnapped FCT chief's wife, son freed after 7 weeks. We have man arrested for defiling 10-year-old neighbor in Abuja. We also have 3 nabbed for stealing solar batteries, 4 nabbed for harassing motorists, hoodlums attack Benue Assembly member-elect, secondary school students clash in Kwara. We have 5 robbery suspects lynched in Onitsha, and then we make over 1 million naira monthly, says fake LASMA official. I know you're interested in that particular story.
Fake. When I heard about fake LASMA, okay, when they get people arrested, which place are they taking the vehicle to? Because I'm aware that when you got arrested, or maybe traffic by LASMA, there is a place in Alausa whereby they will take your vehicle to for proper documentation, proper punishment. So these people now, where are they taking the vehicle to? Are they going to take it at the middle of the road?
They try not to.
Exactly. They probably don't take it anywhere. They you just sort it out.
Just threaten you, and that's how they make so much money.
Wow. So it's a pathetic story, because I'm happy that they are getting them, because these are the people that are spoiling the face of the government, of Lagos State government, and you think they are real LASMA people, and you will know that they will be doing it in a way that any small offense they will maximize it. You understand? Any small maybe traffic or whatever that's maybe supposed to pay 5,000.
on cars and
they begin to say go and bring 50,000, go and bring this, and these are the people that spoil the good work the Lagos State government is doing. So I believe it's a welcome idea that they are able to get some of them, and people will be able to know now that there are bad elements, and they should also work on their system, so that when there is a fake people, either they need to change their uniform now, and there is a way they should code their uniform and enlighten the public that this is how you identify our people. I think that is the best way to go, because if they don't do that, there is still more of them in the society,
and they'll still find a way around it.
There must be a code. You can. There's a way you get a new
but
code.
once you enlighten the public, they will still find a way around it.
There must be a technology code. There must be a code. This is the code of our people.
Okay.
If you don't get this,
scan or something.
If you don't get this, please let us know. Because if not, Lagos is a very big society. That something is happening at the other part, you don't even know what is happening at the other. To get a monitoring team to monitor the. So we're happy.
All right, another worrying headline that was read from that particular page is secondary school students acting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, does that show a level of moral decadence?
Yes, because and actually at the time in this country, there was a time that a lot of courtesan is taking place at the secondary school level. So I think we are above that, and we should not allow such thing to return again. So I think the Nigerian police have a lot of work to do. The principals of schools have a lot of work to do, and the parents too also have a lot of work to do. But our society, the way we are going, I keep saying it, our educational values is getting more, it's getting, yes, every day by day. So I think new administration have a lot of work to do, especially in the educational sector. That's the truth. That's just the truth, because most of those young guys are not really focusing on education, on getting knowledge any longer. They are looking for money. Yes, they are looking for money. Secondary school guys are looking for money. So that will tell you how our society have become. So I believe it's a serious assignment that new administration need to take care of. A lot. They need to get a lot of feedback from each sector. Left to me, before they can start anything to me, they need to go and get a feedback from our educational system, from oil and gas, from this, from that. Get enough comprehensive feedback. People that will not deceive you. That this area we're having issue, this area we're having issue, this is a solution. If they can do that, it's a good place to start their administration. Not just you get to the middle of the administration before you start saying, we don't know something like this happening. There are a lot of things that is happening in our system. So which does not need a lot of things to be solved or to be called.
Okay, well, let's take a look at these particular story. This one says, this story talks about the UK to sanction 10 Nigerians. That's on Punch newspaper, saying the envoy actually chides Fani Kayode. I remember before the elections, the UK said that they're going to, stop
anybody that they found
in electoral
wanting and due to your utterance and all those stuff, or your behavior towards this election, they're going to release me. Well, it's the record, my dear, but to me, I don't really celebrate it. That's the truth. Yes, I don't celebrate it. Can they, for instance, tell South Africans that they are going to ban you if you do this and can they tell South African? Don't let me even go back far. Can they tell South African like that? Nigeria is the black most populous country in the world. So that is the level we are finding ourselves, where they will be telling us that we will ban you. Visa ban is what? Yes, visa ban is what?
Is it because a lot of Nigerians are obsessed with going?
That is why. That's what I'm saying. Can they say that? Can they say that to South Africa? Because when you get to their embassy in South Africa, it's dry. You get to UK embassy in South Africa, it's dry. South Africa don't go there. The most busy embassy in South Africa is Nigeria embassy in Pretoria. They prefer to come to Nigeria than to go to UK or to go to US. So because they knew that you are patronizing them on a daily basis. and they are getting a lot of money from us on a daily basis. Yes, I'm able to say it. That is why, because if you are not, they won't be threatening you. They will threaten you with Because they know that when you get the money as a politician, the first place you want to go and buy a property is their country.
But what if some of these people on the list are actually UK citizens?
They are dual citizens. I don't want to mention their name. Many of them are dual citizens. Yes, I don't want to mention their names, but we knew that they are dual citizens. So what is that? Ban you from going to UK for what? If you have the money, you invest in your country. Are you getting it? And you believe in your country, and you believe in the development in your country, you won't be afraid of anybody. Are you getting it? You won't be afraid of these are our own internal affairs. Are you getting it? There should be a measure here in Nigeria to curb anybody. Nobody is above the law. So if you are giving out some utterances that is not all right, our country, either Nigerian police force, either DSS, should find a way to call you to order, talk to you and call you to order. And if you don't want to listen to them, they should get you arrested and face the court of law.
All right.
But we don't need America. We don't need UK government to tell us that we ban you before you put yourself in. That will tell you the level we are. That will tell you the level our leaders have make us to look like. Yes.
Right. Well, definitely things need to change for the better.
Well, we trust God.
Thank you very much.
Get it better.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, and of course, we appreciate the perspectives that you've given to the headlines this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's still Daybreak on the Trust TV. We'll take a short break, and when we return, top of the hour, the show continues. Just stay with us.